Love letter. Jimin opens his heart. Jungkook fills it with honesty. Jikook love. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Jikook Lovers. Sometimes, the things that stay with us the longest aren't the loudest moments, but the quiet ones, the simple ones. One understated post from Jimin. No words, no explanation. And yet, somehow, it felt warm, like coming home. At the same time, Jungkook spoke with calm, grounded honesty. Not about visuals, not about image, but about the stage, the one place where he feels most like himself. Two different expressions. One shared emotion. Truth. Today, let's talk about the small moments that somehow end up feeling the biggest. On Instagram, Jimin returned in the most understated way possible, yet left a lasting impression. He shared a series of relaxed photos that immediately drew attention, not because they were dramatic, but because they were sincere. There were no long captions, only a line of orange emojis. He appeared effortless, loose denim jeans, a colorful vest, and the iconic Dior saddlebag. In one photo, he looks down at his phone while standing on a wooden staircase, as if the camera simply caught him in the middle of a private moment rather than a staged shoot. That simplicity is exactly what made the post feel so intimate. Fans described the photos as warm, close, and deeply honest, like rare fragments of Jimin's everyday life, untouched by performance or expectation. There were no exaggerated poses, no theatrical expressions. Just Jimin as he is. And perhaps that is why his presence felt more real than ever. The post was later revealed to be connected to Jimin's February 2026 magazine cover, where he wears pieces from Dior's latest collection. The concept blends preppy knitwear with clean, structured lines. Jimin described the style as a beauty born from adding subtle flair while keeping everything clean and simple. A statement that mirrors him perfectly, someone who bridges high fashion with a soft, grounded personality. Every detail seemed to align with who he is. Elegant, but never distant. Luxurious, without losing warmth. Jimin doesn't merely wear clothes, he gives them emotion. He reminds us that fashion is not only about appearance, but about how a person exists within it. It didn't take long for the comment section to overflow with emotion. One phrase appeared again and again. Jimin is home. A simple sentence, yet filled with longing, relief, and affection. Fans shared how Jimin has a unique ability to infuse emotion into everything he touches, even a single, silent post. With the magazine release scheduled for January 29th, anticipation continues to build. Amid constant whispers of a BTS comeback, this moment feels like a small but meaningful signal. For many, it's not just about fashion, it's about Jimin's presence returning with warmth, nostalgia, and quiet reassurance. Meanwhile, Jungkook expressed that same honesty through a very different path. In his interview with Rolling Stone Japan, Jungkook spoke candidly about his priorities as an artist. He explained that he deliberately ignores distractions, including concerns about appearance, for one clear purpose: to deliver the best possible performance on stage. People come to see the show, he said plainly. With that single sentence, he positioned himself not as someone driven by visuals, but as a true performer, someone who lives for the stage. The interview was filled with small details that made Jungkook feel deeply human. He spoke about the shy yet heartfelt cheers from Japanese fans, about his fondness for draft beer and Sapporo curry soup, simple comforts that ground him amid a demanding schedule. When asked to describe himself in 3 words, he chose passion, laziness, and just because. Behind those words was quiet honesty. Jungkook wasn't trying to appear perfect. He was simply being real. For him, the stage is the most truthful place. It's where he feels free, fully present, and alive. There is no pressure to look flawless, only music, energy, and the invisible connection between artist and audience. That is where the essence of who he is truly emerges. The interview accompanied a 24-page exclusive photo feature and coincided with his appearance on the global cover of Rolling Stone. The images showcased his edgy style, but more importantly, they reinforced his identity as an artist who lives for music, performance, and authenticity, choosing dedication over shallow narratives. Elsewhere, the conversation returned to Jimin, particularly in relation to Are You Sure? Season 2. Fans were reminded of one of his most memorable reflections, where he compared his energy to firewood placed into an aging furnace, a metaphor about time, endurance, and the will to keep giving even as limits become clearer. Now, Jimin speaks more reflectively. He has made health his top priority, not out of obligation but responsibility. To himself, to his dreams. He no longer trains purely for ambition, but listens to his body. To prevent exhaustion and injury, he actively undergoes rehabilitation therapy. For him, caring for his body is not slowing down. It's how he ensures he can keep dancing, keep creating, for as long as possible. Dance, the core of his artistic expression, still holds a sacred place in his life. Though he admits his intensity is no longer what it once was, his love for dance has never faded. He understands that change is inevitable, yet he works to preserve that original rhythm, staying connected to breath, movement, and emotion. That renewed balance was visible during his Vogue shoot with Dior, calmer, more mature, as if restored from within. When speaking about Dior, Jimin expressed deep gratitude. He is drawn to beauty found in small details, in subtle precision. He openly shared how Jonathan Anderson's presence as creative director feels like a fresh beginning, one that rekindles curiosity and hope for what lies ahead. Asked how fashion reflects his identity as an artist, Jimin's answer was simple and unmistakably his. He values consistency, alignment with the music he creates. He prefers understated styles that don't need to shout to be seen. While he has always loved monochrome looks, he is slowly embracing brighter colors. One thing, however, remains unchanged. Comfort always comes first. Behind all the achievements, Jimin continues to speak honestly about his vulnerability. He admits how difficult it is for him to feel comfortable in new environments, how easily he becomes tense and anxious. With a gentle laugh, he even said that if anyone knows the secret to overcoming it, he would truly love to hear it. 12 years after debut, he reflected once more on a phrase often shared among BTS members, that they exist only because the team exists. He feels the weight of those words every day, in creation, in togetherness, and in the quietest moments. When asked what he wants to change starting in 2026, Jimin spoke about his long-standing indecisiveness, the hesitation that has often held him back from speaking up, from expressing what's in his heart. He wants to become more decisive, not because of pressure, but because he wants to live more honestly with himself. He knows it won't be easy, but with calm determination, he said he wants to try. And perhaps that is the thread connecting all of this. Honesty. Jimin and Jungkook, growing, changing, and continuously learning how to be themselves. On stage, behind the camera, and within the lives they share with BTS and ARMY. Jimin, with his quiet calm. Jungkook, with his steady conviction. They are not trying to be perfect. They are simply choosing to be real. Thank you for staying with Jikook lovers until the end.